Well, actually, my first question is, how are you?
Hang on. I lost you here. Uh, okay, there we go. Another screen had popped up.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, that
yeah.
sometimes happens,
Okay, there we
and then
go.
you don't see anything anymore. So.
I can see you two now. It's just that this. I was trying to click on your two's video to see if maybe I might be able to bring you up a little bigger. And instead, it led me to like do this gift thing, send a rose and things like that. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, and that
Let,
took up the whole screen. No, I don't
Yeah.
want that.
let me see if I adjust it um, like
So-
this. So
Oh, okay, that works out.
that works out better.
See you both a little bit better. Let's see. Um,
Well,
I'm actually doing okay. It just been working, trying to get my writing in for the day. I'm a little more than halfway through. I think I'm actually going to finish the story that I'm working on right now today, if not tomorrow.
oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Um, it's it's one of those rare times where I actually had a story come to me in a dream, and now I'm trying to write it all out. It's a really weird experience doing it that way.
It is.
Yeah, most of the time I do those stories that way. I dream it first and then I write it down. But sometimes, I don't know if you have it as well, when you're halfway through, then your dream starts to fade away a little. So you have to be really quick sometimes.
You're absolutely right. That does happen a lot. And but I have one of those things where this dream is so vivid that I can see it clearly for a long time. And there is still a dream. I actually wrote about it earlier this year. There is still a dream that I had back 30 years ago that
Oh,
I can
geez.
still see clearly. It's like a movie playing out in front of me. It was a very scary dream. It involved a vampire, um, very quick. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to write this
Yeah,
and see how it turns out.
nice.
So how you two doing? It's got to be what 9 o'clock over there right now. 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 9.
9. Well, I think well, my family and Mary herself were very ill the last couple of weeks. So
Ooh.
we're finally doing better now. So that's finally over. Shane is also doing better. He had a lung infection, which took a lot out of him. He has bruised ribs from coughing so much. So we're doing better.
How's Shane doing?
Well, he had a lung infection and he was coughing really badly. He had a high fever that broke 7 days in, so that was a very long one. And now the only thing left is coughing and bruised ribs from the coughing.
Bruised ribs.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow,
those are
that was some
painful.
coughing.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It is. So, shall we start off with the questions?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Um, Jeremy, how did you get into the paranormal?
By accident. Um, it really all started with ghost hunters. I was I was doing some shopping. I was looking for a new show to watch and come across this DVD for the first season of Ghost Hunters. And I thought it was just a regular, like paranormal sitcom, like a regular TV show. When I got it, and then when I popped in the DVD, we just lost her.
Oh, she paused. I think she has to go.
Still
Ah,
here.
there she is.
Still here. Sorry, something came
Yeah.
up. Shane is on a case, so sometimes I have a message from him.
Okay, no
Okay.
problem. So go on, Jeremy.
So so I popped in that DVD, and this was after they had already been. I think they were going into their fourth season at the time. Um, popped in the show, turned on the first episode, and realized very quick that this was not what I thought it was going to be. That it was reality based, and it appeared to be the true legitimate thing. And I thought, okay, so let's check this out. And after a few episodes of watching what they do, I got to thinking, this is a true way of helping people out. Yeah, there are ways helping people out with money or food, medical, but this here is helping people to not be afraid of their own homes, which I think would be one of the very worst things to have to live with.
Yeah, you have to feel safe in your home.
Right. So after a few years of watching them and studying them and all of that, that's when I decided to try to form my own team here in town, not realizing how saturated the field already was. I I had no idea at the time that Fort Wayne already had, I don't know, 5 or 6 teams just here alone.
Wow.
Oh, that's a lot.
But most of them are no longer in service.
Okay.
Oh.
They either broke up or merged with other teams, and I ended up with some of those members. Scott Smith and Michael Creek, they came from other teams.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, in the case of Scott, his team basically folded. It was a city chapter of a state team that no longer exists. And for Michael, there was just too much drama going on. Lot of lot of rules and a lot of money disputes, and he just wanted to be done with it, and that's how I ended up getting Michael.
That's
Yeah,
good.
but this was much later after I actually got my um, formed the brand. I formed the brand in 2009, October 2009, which we just celebrated 15 years of things, which is pretty exciting. Um,
It's a long time.
it is, but truthfully, we never really got started until 2015, 16. Because I was starting out with myself and 3 other guys, but we never got past the first meeting. The one guy took on a job where it took him all over the country because he was in it's like a cyber defense where companies pay him to try to hack into their system.
Oh, yeah, to
And
see if they have faults in their system.
yeah,
Oh,
see
yeah.
where all the faults, see where all the cracks are, and that's what he does for a living. And the other two, um, I worked with the one. Actually, I did work with both of them, but the one I worked with really close, and um, they ended up not getting hired into into my place because they were temporary employees. Um, and after they were both let go, which was shortly after the meeting, I never really did hear from them. So I think it was
Oh, that's too
more,
bad.
yeah, it. I don't. They weren't as serious about it as I was.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the other guy, Billy, he wanted to do this, but with the way that his work schedule is, even now, 15 years later, it's not easy for us to even just talk.
Mm.
Yeah. And I have bowled with him for several years. I bowled with his dad. I bowled with his uncle. I now bowl with his cousin.
But not with him.
Yeah. So I'm close with the family. It's just that for him, his time is extremely limited due to his job, and on top of that, he has his own family.
Mhm.
Um, but he keeps saying whenever he does get time where he can be able to um, commit, then he would. No, Prima.
Well, I have
I grow my hair out.
Yeah.
I do have a question though, because we all start somewhere. Sometimes it is by accident, sometimes it is by experience that we have, or something that just happened, you couldn't explain, got curious, and you just wanted to know what the hell just happened. So, could you tell me what your first experience was like that, where you were like, oh, what was that?
Uh, that was really late into it. I've only had just a couple of very, very minor stuff happen in the beginning, but the first, holy shit moment
Hmm.
was probably when I was doing my dog whistle experiment.
Yeah, I heard about that one. It's because of the frequency that the whistle has, right?
Yeah. And this was actually at Waverly Hills,
Oh,
and I
nice.
was I was doing this experiment. This is the either the second or the third time I was testing it out. I think it was the second time. Um, I was clear on the far end of the third floor, and I was testing it out. There was nobody around. Um, and it was dark, but not so dark where it was pitch black. I could still see a little bit, and I blew the whistle, and it looked like something was trying to manifest right in front of me, about 10 feet in front of me. I could
Wow.
see the human form like trying to let itself be seen, and then it just dissipated really quick. Um,
That's very nice.
it was nice, and I so wish I could have had something to record that, because that would have been really cool to see. And there was another time right around this same time, I wasn't doing the dog whistle, where I saw my first solid black mass, and it was at a an old like Victorian style house that was undergoing renovations, and it was one of those things where the attic was basically another living space. It had a bar up there, and
Oh.
I was up there with a camera, and I was facing out of the room that I was in, and something actually peeked out from behind the wall looking at me through the door, and then it snuck back in. I went right after it, never found it.
Those are just the missed opportunities to film. I have those as
Yeah.
well. Those suck.
Yeah.
I think in the paranormal field, it's more 95% missed opportunities and
Yeah.
evidence to the 5 to 10% where you actually do have something, but even then, it's questionable.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, does your team only do locations or also residentials?
Say that again.
Do you only do locations or also residentials?
I I prefer residentials, but I'll go wherever. Um, I've only been on 3 investigations this year.
Yeah.
I've just been so incredibly busy with everything. I just don't have time. I do have an invite to go somewhere next year, to Waverly. Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about that. There isn't a date set. I'm just kind of waiting on a word for that. And Waverly is one of those places. I think it's more. overhyped than anything else,
Yeah.
but there's still
Yeah.
something there. I've had plenty experiences besides the apparition that tried to show itself. I've had experiences in what's known as the death tunnel, and I've had experiences just about everywhere. First, second, first floor, all the way up to the fifth floor and the tunnel.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I do have a question about that. Because here in the Netherlands, we do have locations that have certain energies still residing there. And here as well, they can also just overreact onto things and make out of every single little thing a very big thing. But I do have the feeling that in America things are run differently. In the Netherlands, for example, we can't go to castles or hospitals that are closed down. It's all forbidden. How does that work in America? Because for what I understand is that you have to pay a certain amount or have to be with a bigger group. Is that all true, or how does it work?
Over here, it depends on the location. Some places they have like you pay for so much for up to say 8 people or 10 people. Um, there have been times where people would get the place just for themselves, but they still have to pay that full price.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and some people do that. Um, for example, Waverly Hills, that's $1,100 for the night. It
Phew.
doesn't matter if you have one person there or if you had 10 people. It's $1,100 a night. But if you go beyond the 10 people, then it's an extra $110 a person.
Ah, okay. So, well, with the money, they could actually sustain that building.
You would think so, yeah.
Oh, it
Um,
doesn't?
well, see, the problem is with some of these places, they are pretty worn down, in
Mm.
bad shape, and there are trying to think right off the top of my head. I can't think of it, at least not around my area, where the money that they bring in, they just put in their pocket. They don't put back into the building to make it safer,
Oh,
Okay.
to clean it up. Some
well, that's too
places
bad.
have been really bad. In fact, there's one place I just found out a couple weeks ago. One place that I went to 6 years ago, I think, is now set to be demolished because it is in such terrible condition. When
Ah.
I was there, it was really bad. Nobody did anything to clean it, and you had to watch where you were stepping because if you weren't careful, you were going to be stepping on bird carcasses.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually did that once. I heard a crunch,
Ugh.
looked
Oh,
down, and there was a bird that I missed.
Lucky it's a bird and not something else, though.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of birds, dead bats, but we didn't find anything that was bigger.
Okay,
Thank
that's
God.
good.
Yeah. But what I envy you guys is that the places that you have been standing for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Ours, at most, would be standing for 200 years, which is feat in itself, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is something I do have to commend the Netherlands for. They do take care of certain old buildings, like
Mhm.
castles. They take really good care of them. Most of the hospitals that are getting abandoned within sometimes 10 years, they rebuild something completely new, but the ground stays the same. So, for example, we had an insane asylum around here that was empty for about 25 years, I think. A lot
Yeah.
of ghost hunters went there. Paranormal investigations were done there illegally because you couldn't go in actually. But so many stuff down there happened, like builders, they just quit working because they got pushed off ladders. Tools went missing, so they couldn't continue their work. That's the reason why it took them 25 years to complete the apartment buildings that are there today. The problem is, though, is that the apartment buildings now have normal people in it again and children, and those have experienced a lot of bad things. So it's a
That
good thing and a bad thing at the same time.
it is. That's actually something similar to one of my very first residentials that I did. A buddy of mine was doing a renovation on a big house here in town, and he and his crew were having all kinds of crazy things happening. And he got with the homeowner and said, "Hey, I know this guy that can do this. Let him come in." And we came in, um, and it was really weird, but nothing ever got resolved though. I did have some evidence, but nothing that was concrete, I would say. I
Alright.
presented it to the homeowner, but she chose not to do anything forward with that.
Oh, yeah, so it stays.
Yeah, I would have loved to have gone back into that house, especially after the renovation was done, just to see if what I got the first time I would get it the second time, but it chose not to move forward with it.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
well,
that's a bit too bad.
yeah, it sucks, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, sometimes shit happens.
Hmm. Yep.
Absolutely. Um, things got real big with so many different chapters. Where are we stationed?
Like total.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me bring up my things folder here.
It's too many, too many.
So, um, oh, wrong one. Team members. Okay, here we go. So, in the states, one, two, hang on.
See,
Okay,
it's too
here's
much.
some more. Well, it's just that some folders in this thing are updated, others are not.
Ah.
So, we have one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 states in the U.S. Indiana, which is where I'm from, that's the global headquarters, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Um, we have official teams in Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Colorado, Alabama, Wisconsin, and Florida. But I also have remote members that don't have their own team in Texas, Utah, and California.
All right.
Um, Hopefully soon that will change, but it's just all a matter of, okay, I'm ready. That's all I need.
Okay. Sounds great.
And then outside of the U.S., I have three. Of course, Netherlands.
Yeah.
You got the United Kingdom and Ireland. Um, United Kingdom, I'm actually kind of wondering if maybe I should just make that as England, because I know that United Kingdom is comprised of 3 or 4 different countries.
Three.
Mm,
Right.
yeah.
So I'm
It's,
so I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should kind of do like a split up because the 3 members of United Kingdom are all right there in England.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
pretty far apart because Jenny is in Northern Ireland and
Yeah,
Vivian.
that still kind of baffles me. You got Ireland as a country, and then Northern Ireland as a country. Come on.
Too
Yeah,
many.
But,
yeah,
but we have that here in the States. We got North and South
Yeah.
Carolina, North and South Dakota. So,
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
yeah, okay, whatever.
yeah.
Well, that's
We
just
have
the
the same.
smallest one.
Yeah, we have the same. North Holland, South Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, I am still in awe that all of these people have wanted to be a part of this brand. 'Cause I certainly wasn't expecting that when I started this 15 years ago.
No,
I thought it was just going to be the four of us originally, and then next thing I know, there's 40 of us, or however many there are. I haven't done a count recently.
yeah. And you were supposed to expand the family, the cryptids, the UFO. What's come to that? How far off is it?
How far are we going to go? As
Yeah,
far as we can go.
sounds great.
I'm not. I'm not going to set a limit. It's like, okay, let's see where we go.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
talk
and
later about that.
nowadays it gets more to the front as well, especially the UFO sightings are
Mm,
getting bigger and getting actually taken seriously.
I think now is well, as far as our government goes, they've started declassifying a lot of stuff lately
Yeah.
over the last 5 years, and now they are actually admitting, hey, we are investigating these things, trying to figure out what they really are, which is huge for us.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is in other countries. I did I did get acquainted with a uh, Heseltine. I had him on 13th Dimension a couple years ago. I
okay.
had actually found him on a documentary that I was watching, UFO conspiracies or something like that. Then he showed up on a couple of other TV shows. I think Ancient Aliens might have been one of them. Greg
Okay.
Heseltine, I think he is or was the vice president of ICER, which is the International Coalition. Oh man, it's been so long. Um, let me see if I can. Okay, here it is. Gary Heseltine, vice president of the International Coalition for Extraterrestrial Research. And
Okay.
ICER was a pretty big thing, very, very much on the same lines as MUFON, what we have here.
Hmm.
And he was telling me that in a couple of months after we had him on the show, he was actually supposed to go to Brazil for a huge, huge hearing with the Brazilian government and bringing in people from other governments. Why Brazil? I'm not sure. Um, probably I'm going to guess is that is because they're in Brazil. They are a lot closer to many of the purported sites.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm going to get some of these names screwed up. Like Michi Pinkos, something like
Yeah,
that. Um,
There
Machu.
are a lot of sightings in
Yeah,
Brazil, Peru, and I
Hawaii.
think, yeah, lately in the United Kingdom as well.
Oh yeah, out there. I know you guys got. They got the Stonehenge out there,
Yeah,
and then finding out that there are other locations that is very much like Stonehenge.
yeah,
and even older.
yeah.
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 Um, Another one that I'm really interested in is the row of rocks in France. It has a
Yeah.
specific name to it, but um, it it almost looks like from above like a giant cemetery.
Yes. Now you
Yes, it
know it.
does.
Uh, and then of course you got Giza Plateau, which is probably the most famous one of them all. Um, then there's the Nazca lines.
Yeah.
Um, and then we have other things. I think there's a location here in the States where they have something that's similar to the Nazca lines, but a little different. And it makes me wonder how do some of these cultures have so many of the same things, but yet there was no possible way for them to ever have any communication between themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same in Ireland. They found a pyramid exactly the same as in the ones in Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah, they found it a couple of years ago. It's in the middle of the forest, and normally they don't have very high hills or mountains. They went up this mountain, and on the top of it was the half of a pyramid. So they, well, dug it out, of course, and there's just a pyramid there.
Wow.
So I'm like, how does a country tens of thousands of miles apart from each other build exactly the same thing?
I know.
Yeah.
From Egypt now to Ireland,
Yeah.
all over South America. I'm guessing there's more in South America than any other place.
Yeah. Alaska also has a pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
There's some in Mexico.
mhm.
I'm I'm waiting on something in an Asian country. I haven't heard anything in Asia or Australia as far as pyramids.
No, I don't think I have.
But
It
but I
would be
do
cool
know
though.
that in Australia they have something that connects the Aboriginals to possible alien contact.
Oh, okay. I still have to look into that one because I haven't heard much of Australia. I have heard a lot from Japan or China, especially with the dragon sightings nowadays,
Mhm.
because they have the feeling that they're inside the mountains, which doesn't surprise me if they were. But they can
Better
dig
place to
inside
hide.
that mountain that deep. Yeah, they can dig that deep. So you never know what's in there. It's the same as giants are popping out everywhere, or vampires for that matter.
The,
Mhm.
the one that I hear more than about anything is the Giants of Malta.
Yes.
Yeah,
I I heard about them maybe 3 years ago, and I find it very interesting because I've got a friend who lives in Malta. He does film projects, and he actually had me do a couple of small cameos in some of his stuff.
oh, nice.
Um, there's another. I don't remember the name of the island. Uh, but there's one. Let me see if I can find it. I'm pretty sure I wrote it down. I wanted, not that one. I wanted to do a story based on it. Um, it's an island that has a large. Where are you? Well, maybe I didn't write it down. But any. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. Talos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of that island before.
Yeah, it's called a Talos and or Talus. Greek mythology, man of bronze who protected Crete
Yeah.
from pirates and invaders, and is like this huge statue, and it makes rounds around this around this island to make sure that nobody invades their island.
Oh,
It
yeah. So
make
the
about
Stone Warriors.
yeah. Um, and there's a lot of stone warriors out there too.
Yeah.
In fact, the story that I'm working on actually has something similar to that with stone warriors, only not quite in what we know of from before.
It does sound very interesting to read.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes me wonder because some of these stories from way back when are so they they sound ridiculous, but yet at the same time they these were passed down to be as the real legitimate thing, and it makes me wonder if even half of these things actually happened or not.
Oh, yeah.
And there is a lot of evidence out there to say, you know what, maybe it did happen.
Mm-hmm.
It does give you something to think about then.
It does. I really enjoy that. That's why Ancient Aliens is one of my favorite shows because they just dive. Now, granted, sometimes I think they're reaching a little bit on some things, but at the same time, they are bringing stuff to us that is out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it too. I do. I'm hooked.
Yeah, I'm very interested in all of this stuff, and it's not just the paranormal. 'Cause right now, in my opinion, it seems like a haunted location is becoming a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of lost a lot of interest in it. Not completely. I still like it, but now I like reading about other things.
I think it also has to do with the years you already have put in into the paranormal field and all the drama that surrounds it. And sometimes the whole drama of things can take the wind out of you, which makes it less interesting to do. And then you diverge to other things like aliens or extraterrestrial sightings, mysterious places.
Mhm.
Those get more drawn to you then. So yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, the drama in the paranormal field has just when I think it can't get any worse, it does.
They
Yes.
find something.
Yeah,
Yep.
and right, it's like I've had to cut ties with so many people. It's ridiculous. Mary has seen me having to do that.
Yeah.
Even with people who used to be a part of things,
Yeah.
I it just got so bad. I had to get rid of them. Um,
Yeah.
and I have unfriended a lot of people on Facebook because uh, if not just for the constant bickering, it's about how they are making fun of certain things that's happening out there in the real world. For example, uh, 2 years ago, I think it was, when that little submarine was going down to the Titanic,
Yeah.
and we went through a period of 5 days from the time that they disappeared to the time that they actually found the wreckage, and people were laughing and making fun and all of that stuff, and I'm thinking, holy cow, what if the families of these people saw some of these posts?
Yeah.
Um, and then there's people that are, and right now people are making a mockery of this murder that just happened yesterday. No, 2 days ago, with the CEO of an insurance company.
Okay.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, we didn't
Some
hear it.
some guy. It looked like it was a professional hit.
Oh.
It happened just before 7 a.m. in New York City. It looks like a professional assassin, and a lot of people are being very insensitive, which I can get to a point because with insurance companies, people are not very happy with how insurance companies are over
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
and they're saying things like, um, "Well, my sympathy is outside of the coverage area," or uh, "Well, he doesn't need the ambulance ride to the hospital because it's not an emergency," shit like that. And I'm
It's
thinking, holy
ridiculous.
cow, at what point did people, not just in this country, but really in the world, at what point did we as a society become so desensitized at things to where we make a mockery of somebody's personal tragedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It does not make any sense.
Yeah. And there have been so many times over the last 10 years of seeing this stuff, mainly from here. And it actually makes me think, I'm kind of ashamed to be in this country, to be a part of this society.
Yeah, it also takes out the it's a kind of a me culture. If it doesn't happen to me, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Or if it's not within my family, I don't care what happens to you. They can even let somebody just lay on the ground when they've fallen over. Here in the Netherlands, I got one time extremely angry. There was an elderly woman that fell down from her bike on the road. Pretty much everybody just took out their phones to watch her trying to get up, and nobody actually helped her. I was like,
Stuff like
what
that
the hell
happens.
is this?
Yeah.
So I got really angry. So I told them, if you don't put away those phones right now and try to help this old lady, you're just as bad as the rest of them.
Mhm.
So I just got off my bike and helped the woman, got her to the side. But it was ridiculous. I was like, what the hell is going on? Help this lady up instead of letting her die on the floor in the middle of
That's
the road.
that's basically what we have come to, and that's one reason why I am not a big fan of social media and all of that stuff, because everybody seems to be looking for that one thing that's going to make them go viral,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and to get all of these subscribers to the point where, hey, I can make money off of this.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah,
I can see the allure of it, especially if you don't have to work and make money off of social media. I can see it. I get it.
Yeah.
But I just have no interest in that stuff because I don't feel like I need to project out there to the world like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I do videos here and there, but if you notice, I am not consistent,
No, but it
and I
doesn't
don't
have to
feel the
be.
need to be.
No. That's maybe a question I have that wasn't on the list, so sorry.
No problem.
It has to do with social media though, because sometimes I think social media, well, most of the times I think social media just sucks because they um, create stuff that isn't real, fake stuff, which makes it even harder in paranormal field or otherwise to
Yes.
put something out there. But we do, through social media, have a lot of more sightings and a lot of more spaces that are being discovered. What do you think of social media in that way? Do you hate it? Do you like it? Are you in the middle of it? Or are you
I
like,
think
nah,
it's
it's not for me?
terrible. I think it's terrible because it's so easy to fake things right now, and it is so easy. People have become gullible, and it is
Yeah.
so easy to believe this and that. Um, Especially when people are making pictures up through AI or videos through
Oh,
AI.
yeah.
Now, while I am not a fan of AI, there have been a couple of videos that I really liked, and The last one was when they would take two separate animals and then merge them together to see what they would
Yeah,
look
those are
like.
cool.
Yeah, I like that. There was one that was a tiger. I think it was a tiger and a bear, and it came up to this hulk of a monster. Um, I really like that. But there are other things where people are making these AI pictures of other people and trying to pass it off as a legitimate thing, especially in the political
Mm-hmm.
side of things around here, trying to sway people's opinions that, oh, this person is bad, no, you need to pay attention to this person. And sometimes with these AIs, if you're not paying attention, you're not going to know that it's fake. But the real tell of these pictures are when more than anything else is when you look at their fingers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
all right.
yeah, because sometimes you see a hand that's got seven fingers on it.
Yes.
I never noticed those things.
Yeah.
Shane is always the one that do or does the reaction stuff, so he notices stuff like that always.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But as I said before, sometimes it's helpful because they also put videos out there that make or find more mysterious places to investigate. On the other hand, I'm like, yeah, you can also fake a lot of stuff nowadays.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
makes it extremely hard to see what is real and what is fake.
that's another reason why it becomes so disillusioned with the paranormal because now it's
Yeah.
like I can't even tell.
No,
Exactly.
they're
Um,
really getting good at it. So that's also a thing. I'm like, you know what? Social media can be helpful for some things, as I said before, like finding new places or stuff like that. But to almost every single big group of paranormal investigators, they always have something. And I'm like, but that's not how it works.
right. I have been saying this for years that if I didn't have things and the people in it, I probably would not have a Facebook right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Facebook is just about the only way to be able to keep in touch
Yeah.
with people.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Um,
that is true.
yeah, but if I didn't have you guys and everybody else, Facebook would be gone. I'm barely on TikTok. I do have an Instagram that I post on maybe twice a year. It, I just don't do social media very much.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
too
that's
busy with real life.
yeah, but things that you can actually touch.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and it's discerning that I see so many people living on their phones, like literally living on their phones. Um, One time I was with somebody. I took her to her house, and she was supposed to go in, do something real quick, and come back in. I sat out there for 20 minutes, and I
Jeez.
go into her house and found her on her bed on her phone.
Ay.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm thinking, did you forget about me? He said, no, I didn't. I'm just doing this and that for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
And
it's
I've been sitting
ridiculous.
out there in the car with the car running.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really is. It makes me feel so bad for people. And I get to a point where I mute everything on my phone because I just don't want to hear it. And I'll put it down and I'll forget that I even had a phone for 4 hours.
Yeah, I have the same. I constantly lose my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a life that I got to take care of. I can't worry about what's on social media. And I don't understand why people are so enamored with it. I get the allure and everything, but social media is not life.
No. And if you see the young people now, they're posting everything on TikTok, on Snapchat, what they are eating, what they're doing, and they don't interact anymore. Not at all.
No.
I have some friends that they literally post like 50 times a day.
Whoa.
And I did have somebody on my friend list. She would make a post like, okay, I'm going to the kitchen, so I'm not going to be able to answer anybody for a few minutes. Do you really have to make that kind of a post?
Yeah.
And she would do that on a daily basis.
Mm,
No, bye. No, I don't
Yeah.
need this.
Yes.
no.
It's the same here. There was snow falling, and you see all those pictures of the snow. So I had to make fun of it. So I posted a picture of a tank, a World War II tank, with snow on it for people with no windows. It's snowing out there. Out there. I had to do it.
We get that over here. Oh, it's raining. It's raining. 20
Yeah,
posts up. And it's like, wow, I wonder if it's raining outside. I'll go look out my window.
exactly. Or what they're eating every day. I'm going to the grocery stores. I'm going to buy this, and I'm making this. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care.
Okay, now on that,
Yeah,
remember when I had my mouth wired shut for several months?
yeah,
During that time, I would actually take the recipes that people would post online and would actually save them because I had intended to try this
yeah,
when I started eating. But I ended up never doing that, and I deleted all of that stuff. But at that time, I was actually glad that they were posting these things.
yeah,
Wow, that looks really good. I think I'm going to try this.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
it didn't quite
Food,
happen
food,
that way.
food wise or photographs wise, I am always interested to look at it or to cook it or something like that. So that's always fine with me. But indeed, if every single minute of every single day is getting posted, I'm like, oh man, get a life.
yeah,
Go outside,
yeah.
touch something, have a conversation with someone
Get a
instead of through a
hobby.
phone. Get a hobby.
Yeah, get two hobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It, but aside from that, um, well, more messenger really. I'm able to keep in touch with some people. But even at that, I'm terrible at staying keeping in touch with people. It's like I'm so busy with everything, and it's like I have to make a concentrated effort. If I, oh, hey Tim, how you doing? Or hey, whatever. Um, it's just so hard these days. I am very, very bad about staying in touch with people. And I tell them straight up, they know. Some
Yeah.
people don't like it, but you know what? If you don't like it, too bad. That's just
Yeah.
how it is.
yeah, absolutely. Are we going back to a few questions?
Yeah, sorry.
No problem, no problem. 13 dimension, is it coming back in the way it was?
In terms of the original four, I don't know. Um, I do know that we have already agreed that when the 100th episode comes on, we will all come back for that episode. Um, in the meantime, right now it's just me, and I'm actually doing an episode tonight
Oh, wow.
with John Griffin. Yeah, we tried to do a show like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we were having issues on both sides of us. Yeah, let's just cancel. Um, so I'm keeping 13th Dimension going, but just little here and there. Definitely not going to be an every week thing unless they want to come back, because it's hard. trying to do one show every single week. Let alone, 'cause I've got 13th Dimension, Supernatural Talk, and Marks on Wrestling. So that's three of them. And I get tired of being on camera all the time.
We just started, so I'm not tired.
Yeah. So that's why I try to keep right now 13th Dimension
Yeah.
for like really special stuff. I'm not going to do an episode just for the sake of doing an episode, especially since it's just by myself. Now with Supernatural Talk, there's four of us that are actual hosts. Eileen has not been on the show much of this year because of her work schedule. She was able to hop on I think the week before Halloween, and then I think she was able to hop on again in November. But otherwise, like last night, she was out of town. She was out of state for work, and she lets us know every week, hey, I got to work late, or they got me going here, they got me going there. She doesn't like it because she is a manager of the complex of buildings, and they keep hiring people to be her assistant so that they can take some of the load off of her. But the problem is she trains them so well that they promote that person to something else, and then she has to start all over again.
Oh my goodness.
I actually told her, stop training them so well, and you won't listen.
You have to do a bad job.
Yeah, exactly. And how sad is it that we have to promote bad jobs now?
Yeah.
And this is at the same time when we can't even keep people. Hey, it's like they're doing so bad. I'm hoping, okay, do a bad job instead of a really terrible job because they can't do anything with the shit.
Exactly.
But otherwise, for that show, we got myself, Adrian, and Nick. So we already have a built-in conversation where it's not like you're trying to come up with something. Because, Nick, he'll talk about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll have no shortage of topics to talk about with him. And then Adrian brings in a different perspective and talks about certain things that even Nick's not aware of.
Yeah, but that is always fun, I think, within this field, whether it is paranormal or extraterrestrial, we can always learn from each other or find out something new.
Right.
That is what makes this fun to do.
It is. But at the same time, sometimes I get tired of talking about anything paranormal, ghosts, aliens, and stuff like that. That's why I started the wrestling show.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of fun to do. But right now, my co-host Donald, he just has such a hectic schedule because he's a firefighter.
Oh yeah.
So his schedule is like he works 2 days and then he's off 2 days and then he works one off. It's really weird. And it makes it hard for us to try to do something every single week. We already know we're not going to do something every week. But we were talking last night, we're going to try to do a pre-record today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about waiting until after I do my 13th Dimension show, which starts in 4 hours. We're going to try to do something after that. But it just all depends. Because he had things going on this morning. He was supposed to let me know when he was done. He was thinking maybe we could try to sneak in a show before this one. And I thought, you sure you're going to be able to do that? Because you're leaving yourself an hour and a half, and he and I have a very hard time keeping a show under 2 hours. So I don't know what's going to happen there. But as far as 13th Dimension goes, I'm just keeping it to, just a limited series here and there. Last year I did 15 episodes. Or last season I did 15 episodes, and then the season before I think I only did 10. So I'm not doing it on a regular basis like what we had before, because it's just me.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but as you said before, I think it's already 15 years old, which is in paranormal field a very long time.
Yeah.
As you said before, a lot of teams already are not working within this field anymore. So it is a pretty long time. Eventually, it will slowly go less.
Oh yeah, and that's to be expected. And I know a
Yeah.
lot of people they get discouraged when that happens. Sometimes I do get a little discouraged, and then I think, you know what? So what?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't have to do something every weekend. I know a lot of people prefer to do something every weekend, but I don't have to. I don't want to do something every weekend.
No.
Not only that, but eventually, and that is also a thing with social media, is they are going to expect it from you. And if it doesn't happen, they get angry.
Yeah, that was actually an argument I had with one of the former team members. He once told me that people live vicariously through us. They don't need to,
No, they don't have to.
right? 'Cause I don't want to feel like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, or I'm going to lose these followers. I don't care,
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
because I'm not doing this for subscribers or follows. I'm not doing it for that. When I'm doing an investigation, depending on the location, I'm either doing it for me or I am doing it for the person I am trying to help.
Yeah.
That's the important. I am not doing it so that people can watch us.
Yeah.
Same with us.
And
I do,
have always tried to make sure that people who come on the team understand that's the purpose.
yeah.
We're not trying to do this for fame. We just had somebody earlier this year that uh, was kind of on the team, and she kind of made it be known what her goals were. They didn't align with us, and she ended up quitting.
Yeah.
Adios.
Yeah. There is a certain goal we all have within things. I think everybody in things thinks the same way of we're not doing this for fame. We're not doing this for followers, for viewers, for anything, but
Right.
just one, having fun with it.
Yeah.
Two, trying to get to the bottom of things, not faking anything, and especially just try and explore and teach other people what to do, what not to do, what to expect, and just to help them out if they do get scared of certain things.
Mhm. And also, I like to experiment.
Yeah,
That's another reason why I would do a public location is I'm trying to experiment,
Yeah.
see how it goes, and then I go spread the word.
yeah,
Like the dog whistle that caught fire with a lot of people. I certainly wasn't expecting that. Um, but I had a lot of people testing that out.
Yeah. You also had with that green light, the
What's
laser.
that?
You also had an experiment with the green laser light and a long exposure from a photograph.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about that one.
I didn't. I didn't.
she
I actually
remembers
got
everything.
Yeah.
I actually got that experiment from John, because he was showing me something that he and his now late brother were testing out, and I thought, hey, that's cool. Do you mind if I do something with it? He did, and next thing I know, we were doing these laser things everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I like to try to do things outside the box that is not the norm, because the norm of what everybody has been doing has been boring.
Yeah, it is.
So that's why I try to come up with different things. And now I am just so far removed from everything, really, that it's I almost don't want to do any investigations anymore. Almost. But when I do, I try to come up with something different. Instead of
I
just sitting in a room and talking and hoping I'm going to catch something. And
I also think it works a bit better because um, Waverly Hills, for example, you've been there now a couple of times. A lot of different teams have been there. If you do something different and something interesting that spirits haven't seen before, I think they're prone to go to you rather quickly to see what you're doing than if you do constantly the same bloody thing.
that's actually one of my more favorite places to experiment, especially in that tunnel.
Yeah.
Um, I've done plenty of experiments over at the Lake County Jail in Crown Point, which is where I don't know if you're familiar with John Dillinger.
Yep.
That was the jail that he escaped from before he was killed. Um, and sometimes, though I haven't been to one in a long time, I have tried to do a couple of experiments at a cemetery. Um, Nothing audio wise, because
Okay.
I because when I was starting out with my dog whistle, one of the people that I'm really close with decided to test out a dog whistle at a cemetery.
Ugh.
Yeah, didn't go so well.
No, I can understand why.
Yeah, did not go so well. She told me about it the next morning. I was like, no, you're not supposed to do that outdoors. I never thought I would have to put a disclaimer on something like that. It's like, come
On
on.
the other hand, it is kind of an experience and an experiment to see what happens.
Well, they got chased out. Let's put it that way. You wanted an experiment. Well, you got a result. May not have been the result you wanted, but you got a result.
That's so cool.
But yeah, I enjoy trying to come up with something different because everybody, most everybody, seem to rely on the same age-old tired thing, which half the time you don't even get a result from it.
No,
No.
So try something different.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
One off topics. What is your least favorite um,
What?
equipment? The,
My favorite?
no, the not
Least favorite.
least
Oh, my least
favorite.
favorite?
Yeah,
Mm.
Oh, nobody's ever asked me that one. Um, I would almost have to say the DVR system because it is such a hassle to set it up and tear it down.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't even take them with me anymore, almost, unless it has been specifically asked, "Hey, bring those cameras."
yeah,
But the problem is, it takes a couple hours to set up, a couple hours to tear it down. Already, you've lost 4 hours of investigation time.
yeah.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Uh, so it. So I would have to say that's probably my least favorite, just on that.
Which one do you think is overrated?
Probably 90% of what's out there now.
Yeah, I have a thing with the Kinect camera, the one that makes the stick figures. I'm like, you know what?
SLS.
Oh,
Yeah, the SLS.
I'm going to
Yeah.
change my previous answer to that.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Almost everything is reflective. It picks up on every little bloody thing.
Right. Yeah.
So how can you be sure it's that?
Exactly. And it baffles me that so many people do rely on that. And I have told people if you're going to do something with that, you need to make sure that you have a like a like a bland wall, like what is it? Like a matte painting, something that does not reflect like a gloss finish. You need a matte
Yeah,
finish or
yeah,
whatever it's called. Um, because if it's going to have any kind of reflective surfaces, that thing's going to pick it up.
yeah. It's gonna pick everything up. It's very sensitive.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and then it's been proven that it's called the SLS camera here.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's called that here as well. I just forgot the name.
I completely forgot about it, to be honest,
That's
until you said it. Um, it's actually been proven that the the mechanism looks for something to grab onto and then go from there.
Yeah.
yeah, it matches it out.
Yeah.
What's your
Um,
take? What's your
Other
take
things
on the
that are
cameras?
overrated. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know if I would say it's overrated so much as it is misused, and that's a lot of the EMF meters, like the K2s and the millimeters and things like that. People are using those thinking that they are communicating with a ghost, when really they should be using that stuff to look for bad wire in the walls.
Yeah,
That's what I use my K2 for. Is I
Yeah.
got
yeah,
it
me
right
too.
up against the wall trying to find stuff in the wall.
Yeah,
Um,
sometimes we still have old alarm clocks or a motor under the bed to make the bed go sitting up position. Those things give a lot of energy off, a lot of EMF off. So eventually, or lights or pumps on aquariums, those things give a lot of AMF meters off. So that's actually the only thing why we use it. At least for me, Shane, and Mary.
I remember one location I was at. It was one of them hanging lights with the fluorescence, and
Oh
I put
yeah.
my millimeter up to that, and it went way off the chart, and I knew that wasn't supposed to be. So I told him about that. Hey, you need to have somebody come in and check this out. So a lot of what we do, especially for those with the EMFs, we can help somebody not have a fire in their house.
Yeah, for example. And of course, AMF is also the one that sometimes brings forth paranoia or hallucinations, which also helps out especially inside homes. It helps the people to relax more and have an explanation of why they're having those things.
Hmm.
So that takes a lot of stress out of people as well.
And especially if people become knowledgeable about chemicals in the house,
Yeah.
because stuff that can really mess with your head.
Yeah, it does.
Uh,
So that's
I was
also a thing. We also start with just finding the basic things. Not everything has to be paranormal.
right. I was actually sharing this story last night on Supernatural Talk, but there was one place that I went to. Um, it was at a mobile home park, and we went to we went to the office to try to find this specific location because the way that they had them numbered was just so screwed up. And the lady actually told us, "Hold your breath when you open that door and go." Okay,
Oh,
why? You'll find out. Okay. what we found in that is a single wide trailer were cages on top of cages of animals.
Oh no.
Dogs, cats, rabbits, gerbils. They had like 10 of each of them in a single wide trailer.
Oh jeez. That's gonna
So,
smell.
yeah, just
With
the
that.
smell of that. And then um, Tammy, she was the one that was with me, not the Tammy that you know in the chat, but we had a different Tammy on the team. When she sat down on the at the kitchen table, she was sure that there was pee on the seat. When she,
Oh no.
yeah, oh, it was terrible. And one of the ladies that was living there, she's hallucinating everything all the time. She once had a gigantic handprint on the side of her belly. When I looked at her, it looks like you slept on your hand.
Yeah.
And it never dawned on her that that's what it could have been. She just saw this handprint, a very large handprint. No, that looks like your hand.
Yeah, it's just the basic things. Immediately something happens that they can't explain, like flickering lights or something getting shoved off, or when you wake up in the middle of the night having the feeling that somebody's looking at you. They're just not thinking of the basic things. The one thing that rules above all is fear. Because if we don't know it, we fear it, it's scary, it's dark, it's evil, I don't want it.
Hmm. And there are some people out there that want it to be paranormal.
Yes.
Yes.
I've run into that too.
Yep.
They would. It was Ricky was on the team at the time, and he and I went to this one house. These people, they weren't scared or anything. They were smiling the whole time. They were telling us all of this stuff and showing us. Yeah, one time we had a plate just break. It was on the counter, and all of a sudden it just broke. And okay, why did it break?
Yeah, what happened?
Um, and then on the investigation, it was me, Ricky, and Scott. Uh, I had found where I didn't see the names on the bottles, but there were several prescription medicines. I I wanted to take a picture of them, but they were around and they hadn't noticed that I seen it. Um, but I wanted to try to sneak in a picture at some point and was never able to because I didn't want it to be obvious to them. Um, but in the end, it didn't matter. Nothing happened in that house when we were there investigating. There was nothing
No,
on
that's
cameras. We
most of the
told
time
them,
that happens.
yeah, we told them you got to be prepared for us to say you got nothing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want to
Um,
hear it.
No.
they accepted it. They didn't try to cause any issues with it. And okay, well, if that's what you got, that's what you got. So,
Yeah, we had one over here in the Netherlands that tried to put ghosts inside a Tupperware box and send it to us.
Yeah.
We have those people.
yeah, we did
So
we
I
did
think they're
have
everywhere.
we did have one person try to scam us. Sent a video to us, and we didn't realize that we have any didn't have the volume on the phone. So I was looking at this picture and I'm seeing something moving across. And I thought, okay,
Could be
see what
something.
that was. Turned down, it was a remote control truck. Somebody had stuck underneath something and ran it.
Ay.
I made a 2-hour trip in the dead of winter for this thing, only to find out that all of this was just one big host because they wanted that kind of attention. You know what? You have just caused me to waste a full day when I could have been doing something different or helping someone
Yep.
else out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's also what rottens this field a little. Everybody wants to chime in, have something special, and just create things that aren't there. And the
right.
problem is when they do get found out, you also put a very big stamp on other teams. As in, well, they can fake stuff, so everybody has to fake stuff. Nothing of it is real.
Yeah, uh, I have no interest in trying anything like that.
Was
I get why some people would do that so that they can get that attention, um, so that their team can get called upon more and more and more and more. I don't care.
Yep.
If we get a call, we get a call. If we don't get a call, we don't.
Exactly.
Life doesn't revolve around that.
Yeah.
Although I will say, your team seems to be the most prolific out of everybody,
Sorry.
at least according to what you send me.
Yeah. That were the cases. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm
get
so
this stuff.
sorry.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! You guys did all of that, and here I've done nothing. But at least somebody in things is still active.
Yeah. We get
Very active.
yeah.
Mhm.
We get calls and yeah, people asking for us to to come by. So
I do hope in the future, though, that we can also do castles, for example, because those. Well, I have certain experiences in certain castles that we actually heard something, even on EVP. We have the recordings of it. I couldn't debunk it, tried everything. So those are a couple of things I would love to go and visit. The
yeah,
only problem is here in the Netherlands they don't accept anything. So even when you are willing to pay for a night to stay or something, it's just no, we're not going to do it. And then I'm like, you know what? That's actually kind of too bad because as soon as you do allow these kind of things to happen, the money that you can get out of it, you can put into your castle to remain it being open because we at the moment have problems within the castles that there are not that much visitors anymore. So why not get into the whole paranormal fields and try to get something out of that? But hey, that's just
Right.
me.
yeah,
I would love to do a castle someday. Come over there and do one. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm quite envious of Jenny because it seems like she can be able to do a castle every weekend whenever she wants to.
Yeah. Yeah.
they're
But
also in
yeah, I would love to do a
Germany.
castle if I can never. And one over there. We do have some castles here,
Yeah,
but hold a candle to what's over there. I want to go into places that are like 1,000 years old.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Um, that's not to say that we don't have some great places over here. We do. It's just that the kind of history that we have here is so vastly different from what you guys have over there.
Yeah,
And that's what I would like to go experience.
yeah. For us as the cryptids, we don't have that much here, and you guys have everything.
It seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Um, we even have well, it's actually in Scottstown, Cherubusco. He has what's called the Beast of Busco, and it's supposed to be a big giant turtle that was only seen one time. And when I say a giant turtle, I'm talking a turtle that is supposedly the same height as a human.
Oh,
that's
geez, that's a big
big.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was only seen one time, at least one documented sighting of it back, I don't know, about 90 years ago.
A
just one time,
long time ago.
and all of a sudden it has this cryptid legacy behind it. And I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe somebody made that up because if it's only been seen one time,
Yeah.
then what's the chances of it actually being real?
Yeah. Or maybe it was something out of a dinosaur age that was still running around and now it's
Yeah.
just gone.
Like Nessie?
Yeah, for
The
example.
or the megalodon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I would love to go check out, go out there and uh, go to the Loch Ness, see
Yeah.
what you get.
It's not only for the creature itself, but the place itself is beautiful to see.
Yeah.
Oh, everywhere out there. That's why I want to go out to them islands.
Yeah, it's beautiful to be there.
Um, I know I had seen many pictures of the Netherlands back when it was Holland.
Hmm.
I had seen so many pictures there, and I'm thinking, wow, I would love to go check this place out, just for that scenery. Because it seems like you guys have this knack for all of these different colored flowers around windmills.
Yeah.
For the tulips.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like I never hear about Holland anymore, and then I find out, oh, they renamed it.
Yep.
Why did why? Why are you no longer Hollands? Why did they change the name to the Netherlands?
I have no idea.
It was always the Netherlands, but Holland. Everyone used it. It's yeah. It snuck into it, and now everyone is saying the Netherlands. I don't. I don't know when it happened.
Huh.
Do you know, Sam?
Nope. I think it does have to do something with the people itself. They used to call it Holland, which was a higher ranking saying of I am better than you. And then eventually, because the Queen didn't like it, she just changed it to the Netherlands because she found everybody was equal.
Yeah, but in the 1700s, it was the Republic uh, of the Netherlands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but for what I can remember is that Holland was a term used for higher ranking people, so the queen or king's house and all her minions underneath her. And then we just were the people, and that was just Netherlands, but Holland was for higher ranking people. Eventually, the queen was like, mm-mm, we're all the same. So everything became the Netherlands.
Okay.
yeah,
That's different from what I'm used to hearing, especially with the people in of a higher status.
Yeah, well, the queen didn't care about higher status. For example, she also had witches in her court.
Yeah.
yeah, but the a former queen, not this one.
No, not this one. This is a
No,
king that does not give a shit. But not his mother, but his grandmother had witches in her court. She was the one who was like, you know what, we're all equal. She was also a queen that literally went amongst the people and just ate with them at the same table. She used to play games. She went out to nursing homes to help.
I'd
So
say that's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
yeah, those were the days.
yeah, yeah, way better than now.
Yeah,
But I think that's pretty much everywhere around the world, especially since the whole COVID happened.
yeah,
Everything went downhill for a lot of countries.
And I'm afraid it's only going to get worse too with what I've been seeing all over the place. I heard about the collapse of the French government, which I
Yep.
found out yesterday apparently happens almost every year anyway.
Mhm.
Um,
That,
then South Korea, its
oh
president
yeah.
had declared martial law only
Yep.
to have the General Assembly, I think it was, to reverse it just hours later.
Yeah.
Yep.
What the hell is going on here? Why is so much happening in such a little amount of time? And it makes me wonder how much of this is directly influenced by our election.
Oh yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like Trump.
Yeah.
Yep.
Many.
So it makes me wonder.
Yeah.
It's the same here. We also voted for somebody that is still trying to get, well, working together with the other politicians. They just don't want to work with this man. So it's like, nah, we're just gonna, well, get in your way in every single decision you're trying to make. So nothing is getting done.
That actually happened with a president long time ago, Andrew Johnson. He was the one that became president after Lincoln was shot. But
Okay.
his attitude was, "It is my decision. I don't care what you say. It's my way."
Yeah.
He ended up becoming the first president to get impeached. Um,
Yeah, we should have that around here so that the king makes the decisions. It's my decision, it's my people. I think it's better for this and this and this. It just doesn't happen.
But I have to agree to disagree with you, Sam.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the royals. They call themselves Dutch, but they're actually more German than Dutch.
Yeah.
So don't get me started by the king.
Yeah.
well, when it comes to politics, it's such a
It
Mess.
is.
well, yeah, but it is such a cluster. Um, it's like a pot of steaming fill in the blank.
Yeah. Well, I always see it as they're just a couple of people that decide over the rest of your life. Of, in Netherlands case, 18 million people. It is
Yeah,
a
but
couple of people decide over the rest of us.
yeah, but the decisions are made in Brussels, not
Yeah,
even
but
in
it is just weird that just a couple of people decide over every single one.
yeah,
Well, over here, our leaders they make decisions based on what they want and
Mm-hmm.
what's going to work out for them. They don't
It's the
care
same
about.
here.
A lot of them don't care about the people here. It's just
No.
they just say what they need to get elected. Now all of a sudden you have a career politician,
yeah,
Yep.
and they have different types of insurances. Supposedly, that's a lot better than what we have. I hadn't
yes,
been able to confirm that, but that's one thing I hear more than anything that they make decisions on um, healthcare and things like that, but they don't subject themselves to that same healthcare that we have to have.
yeah,
Yeah. It's weird. It's all messed up. I'd rather do the supernatural and the paranormal and cryptids. Just give me those any days instead of thinking about what the world is gonna do or the people in the world are gonna do.
yeah,
That's just a
Yeah,
mess.
that's what it boils down to until it's like, oh, what you're doing is actually affecting me now.
yeah,
Yeah, except for that.
Yeah.
But as I said before, it's just a whole big of mess. Just let me focus on the things I do actually enjoy, find interesting, and a lot more people are finding interesting because we do have a couple of more investigating teams here in the Netherlands. People are more open to the idea of, hey, there might be something wrong in my house. They're more open to talk about it because here in the Netherlands, Christianity is very, very big. So when something happens, no, it's not real or it's not happening, I'm going crazy. nowadays they do come forward. That's the reason why we have more residential investigations now as well. So I do see a grow in there. So like, okay, something happened. I can't explain it, so I need some help.
Well, over there, you guys would have more residentials than we do because your land has a lot more history than our land does.
Yes.
Mm,
A lot more history, a lot more tragedy.
yeah,
Yeah.
Now, we have had our tragic moments, but most of what we know of has only been in the last 250 years, 300 years. You
Yeah.
guys
that
got
is
us
true.
beat by like 10 times that amount.
Yeah, we topped that. We had the Romans, we had the Vikings, we had the French,
Yeah,
we had the Germans 2 times, the French three or four times. So we had a lot.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
In my observation, it seems like people over there are more respectable of the paranormal than they are over here.
No, they're not, unfortunately.
No,
no.
No,
it
we
seems like it sometimes.
well, but that's just from the last 5 years. I think they're more receptive of well coming forward with a story, not immediately go, oh, they'll think I'll go insane and it's not true, and they actually do come forward now to ask for help or say, hey, this is something that happened to me. I can't explain it. Can you help me out? But we still get ridiculed that we're not right in the head, that we should quit, that we fake stuff, or it's the same as I think in America that stuff just still when it spooks you when you don't know it, it scares you because that's a normal human reaction to have. Most people go like, mm, "That's not true. It's not real. Go away." So that is still the same, but it is getting better. So we get more
Yeah,
residential questions and stuff like that.
I think
What?
it's getting better since it's on TV a lot, and that's since 5, 6 years.
Hmm.
So on
Yeah,
public television. So we have Help My House is Haunted. We have our Mr. Zach Bagans, my favorite not. Um, we have Ghost Hunters and even the Ghost Brothers, The Unexplained. So it's more on TV.
yeah,
So yeah, it's a bit better as it used to be.
yeah.
I can't say if it's got any better or worse because I haven't really been out in public these last few years, which I'm thankful for, to be honest, because I can't stand being in groups of people.
Mm-mm.
It's bad enough just going shopping.
Oh yeah, the anxiety attacks. No thanks.
Right.
Yeah, so I can't tell from my own experience if it's gotten better or worse. I do know that it had been bad. I used to have one guy at work who would mock me because I did this, and he'd go, "You taking ghosts? Ghosts don't exist. You should know that." And, okay,
Yeah.
but
What have I?
the moment that you have a problem, guess who you're going to be coming to?
Yeah,
Yeah,
precisely that.
Yeah, so it is
absolutely.
what it is.
You wrote
That's
books. How many? How many books did you write?
how many books? The one that I finished earlier this month is my ninth one.
9.
Yeah, I have written nine in the last 2 years.
Wow.
All of varying topics, genres. I don't just do, like what Stephen King did in his early years. He did all the supernatural stuff. I do have mostly supernatural, but the last book that I did was not. It was a full on kidnapping, sexual assault thriller
Wow.
based on an actual serial killer back in the 70s. Here, um, the one one I'm doing right now, which is only going to be a short story, um, is a supernatural, really weird story, but it came in a dream. I had to write about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as actual novels, I've written 9 of them. I have enough stories to probably fill 3 collection books. Um, and then I do also have 3 other books that are in the process, but it's not what I put my full focus in. If that makes any sense, it's
Yeah, it
not.
does.
Yeah, it's not something that I write as my main writing for the day. It's after I do my main writing, then if I'm bored, then I'll work on that one. Um,
Is that not confusing though? Then when you work with one, for example, the one you're dreamt about, and then start working on the other one, doesn't that overlap a little?
it doesn't. No, I'm actually able to keep everything separate.
Okay,
When
okay.
I first started doing this, my intent was to like maybe do 4 books at a time, spend 1 week on one book, 1 week on the next, and so on. Um, that way, that way, I'm not getting bored with the same story. It turned out not to be the case. I never get bored with what I'm writing, and I'll just focus on one book, and it's like, wow, all of this time went by, and I got all of this done in this short amount of time. Thinking, I think I'm going to do it this way, just one story at a time,
Okay.
and it is a lot of fun too.
Yeah, it is fun to write books. I've written 3 now.
Yeah.
But mine are mostly fantasy.
Okay. I I I would like to do a fantasy at some point, but my mind is more horror, um, more geared towards the horror. So trying to come up with a fantasy is really hard. Like I read Lord of the Rings, and it was hard to get through that book.
That book is really hard to get to through.
It was
Even
hard.
though I'm a very big fantasy fan reader, that one is extremely hard.
I think the reason that one was hard was probably more because of the language that was used in it.
Yep.
Um, and it was really difficult.
Yeah, you
Uh,
have I think 4 different languages. You have Hobbiton, Elvish, Dwarvish, and then the just English, Old English. Yeah.
so for me, it's like, damn it, just focus on one thing.
Yeah.
But still, it's a good story.
Yeah.
Yes.
A long story, but it was a good story.
Yes.
I'm actually getting ready to start a long book by Stephen King called Sleeping Beauties. That one is 700 pages long.
I've seen that when Shane bought it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be starting that tonight. Um, I I have a personal goal of reading roughly 40 pages a day, if not more.
Oh yeah.
Um, but this year, I kind of went overboard in my reading. By the time I get done with this book, because I got it planned out to where I will finish this book before on New Year's Eve. And this is my 207th book this year.
Jeez.
But I'm not talking like full fledged novels. I read a lot of children's books. I've read I've read cookbooks, which is kind of weird. Music
No, that's
books.
fun.
Hmm?
The cookbooks are fun. I have, for example, a cookbook of The Witcher or A Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I have those cookbooks as well, so those are still fun to read.
Yeah, they can be. I read a lot of, let's see, children's books. Are you familiar with John Ward?
I've heard of him before, yes.
He's the writer of the Scareville series. Uh,
Oh, okay.
those are really good.
Okay.
He just finished his eighth book yesterday, so he's looking at putting it out sometime next year.
Oh,
Um,
nice. I'm gonna look for them.
they're really good. My personal favorite is um, Got Ghosts. There's that. How to Create a Monster. A
That one's also
Very
fun.
Scary Christmas. That one was really good. That one's fun because a little
Yeah.
up on the shelf things being
Yeah.
the evil. Yeah, he's really good with those books. Um, but he self publishes them.
Oh, okay.
Me, I can self publish, but I would much prefer to have a traditional publishing because he has to do all the work for all the promotion and the editing and the book covers and all of that stuff. I got time for that.
I have a book to write. I can do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm trying to go the publishing route
Yeah.
because the promotion that way would be huge.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I write every single day. I've got 9 books that I've written, more than 50 short stories, 2 novellas. Um, so I'm building up quite the catalog. It's just a matter of actually getting them released.
yeah, just wanted to ask, where can we find them?
Yeah.
Find the books.
And
I,
Yeah,
I haven't I haven't released any.
oh,
exactly that. That's too bad. I would really love to read them.
No, I can send you some of my stories.
I would love to read them. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would be honored.
from time to time I'll send a short story to somebody if they want one. So if you two want one, I can definitely give you one.
perfect.
Oh, that would be great. Thanks.
Yeah, what what kind do you like to read?
Just send me one. It doesn't matter to me.
I'm more of the thrillers, psychological thrillers.
Okay, I'll see what I'll send you. I'll try to make sure I send something that's not heavy because some of my stuff can be real heavy.
In what way?
More, for example, there's a Christmas story that I wrote. It is about an older guy who's called Silent Scream. He is living out the remainder of his years in a nursing home, and his son and family come to visit him for Christmas. And it's basically just like what you would expect for a get together, exchange of gifts and things like that. But at the end of but the whole time he's thinking, I really want to go home. I don't want to be here. I want to go home. Um, knowing that he can't go home, and that's basically the whole story there. So when I say I can write some heavy stuff. It's really, really sad and depressing things. Um, very real life stuff.
It's relatable
Yeah.
in some things.
Yeah, because I try to make sure that everything that I do write is relatable in some way, even if it's just sort of like in the Twilight Zone. I'm writing something that is ridiculous, but there is a hidden message behind that. Every story of mine has something like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Interesting.
I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll make sure I send both of you something before the end of my day here.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
so be expecting
Last,
something in the morning.
I have a last question. You'll be
Okay.
on later on with John Griffin. What are you talking about with John Griffin?
With mainly his new series that's out right now, the Path of Communication, and also he has somebody coming in with him. Uh, Let me see. He messaged me about it the other day. Um, there is somebody that he was working with for this show, and they had some kind of major breakthrough.
Oh,
Um, I don't know exactly what it is, but he asked me the other day if he could bring her on so that they could talk about this because it's featured into one of the episodes that he's releasing. Um, so I'm looking for something very interesting out of this one. He told
yeah.
me one time that he was able to help save a life because of a message that was brought to him. Something about another person's um, medical well-being that people weren't aware of. He did say something to me about that when we were testing things out on EVMux, which is the new streaming program that I use. Um, yeah, we're going to be talking mainly about the stuff that he has for his show, which is on YouTube. It's called The Path of Communications, and he's really excited about it. When he was coming on this last time, it was either the day before or the day after the first episode was being released, and we were both really upset that we weren't able to do the show because he had problems on his end, I had problems on mine. Yeah, well, we got no choice. It's not going to work.
Some no, sometimes it just happens.
I know it was terrible. Um, then I was supposed to have Rick McCallum on the show a couple weeks ago, and his computer would not allow him to get to OneStream. Um, no, I'm sorry, EVMux.
Okay.
He only uses Firefox, but his computer it was not updated enough to be able to download Chrome. It wouldn't allow him to download Chrome, and that was the only way he was going to be able to use EVMux. So
Okay.
instead of doing the show, we were on the phone for 2 hours talking. Yeah, but
Sometimes computers will work against you.
Yes.
oh yeah, and it really worked against him that night.
Yeah.
Because he was looking forward to doing the show. I try to have him on at least once a season. I didn't have him last season, but I try to have him on fairly frequently.
Yeah.
Um, it just wasn't happening. But yeah, we're going to be with John. We're going to be talking about this stuff for his new series, The Path to Communications. Um, it seems to be picking up some speed, picking up some steam, doing really well. I haven't had a chance to watch anything, but he does have footage of me from previous project that he is going to try to incorporate into this one. So at some point, he's expecting me to be on one of those episodes.
Well, that's something to look forward to.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Now, because for a while there, every time that he was doing a filming project, he would ask me, "Hey, can you come over?" Um, the one place I went over there for him 2 or 3 times, it's only a 6 hour drive. So the other one was a 12 hour drive. That was quite the trek.
Yeah, that was a long one.
So he's got plenty of footage of me doing stuff for him, and I thought for sure once that series was kaput and he started this new one, I thought for sure he's just gonna, just go in that direction. I had no idea he was planning on using some of the older footage for this. So that's a bonus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. What time are you on?
What time?
Yeah, what time?
Uh, 3 hours from now.
3 hours from now.
Yeah.
So, for everyone who wants to watch, it's 2 a.m.
Midnight for us.
Yeah, yeah, 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's now 11 at our side.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's the sucky thing about these time differences, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly something we can help.
No.
No, we have to manage
You
with
can
it.
always catch the replay.
Exactly. That's what we say also. Oh, I listen to Spotify.
What's that?
Listen to Spotify.
Yeah, I do put all of my episodes on Spotify. Um, I have found these last few weeks that Spotify is getting real picky now.
Oh,
Because I now have to download my episodes from YouTube instead of Facebook. It, for whatever reason, is not liking the videos from Facebook. But
No.
if I go to YouTube and download the exact same episode of mine and upload it, no
yeah.
problem. So
Okay.
I have
Maybe the
no
coding
idea.
is a bit off.
Yeah, I have no idea what the issue is there. It's almost like everything is turning against Facebook, which can't say I'm surprised.
Or blame them.
No, no,
Exactly.
I have been
Yeah.
saying for a long time now that Facebook is going to fail at some point. It is
Yep.
going to fail big.
Yep.
I would not be surprised if I get on my phone or get on the computer and try to open up Facebook, page not available.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before that, we have to find another way to connect.
Just about any other way right now would be better than what we have, honestly.
Yeah.
With all of the copyright stuff, or they have these algorithms that are looking for reasons to pull down a post, something that people have written, and given these ridiculous. We think you posted this as a misleading way to get likes or follows. It, seriously?
Yeah,
They did everything for money.
the worst thing they did was a picture of a ghostly appearance of a child and put a label child child pornography on it.
Oh, I used to have all of
Yes,
these advertisements of stuff like that, and I
yes,
have no idea where they came. Then I would report, and the next day, we don't see how this violates any of our community standards. Pornography does not violate your standards.
yeah,
The world is a bit stupid and going crazy. Let's just put it that way.
It
yeah,
is. It really is. That's why, honestly, if Facebook fails, I will not shed a tear.
No.
no, me neither, me neither. I have to
Well,
say hi to someone. Hi, Simon, nice for you to drop in.
hello,
Yeah,
but such is life.
yeah, it is. And there's a life besides Facebook.
Exactly.
Thank God there is.
Exactly.
So we have come to an end, and we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart that you
It's good to
came
see
in.
you again.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great seeing you too, and thank you for having me on here. Been a blast. These 2 hours have gone by pretty quick.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we
Although the
will.
first 10 minutes were kind of iffy, I was beginning to wonder if we were even going to be able to have a show.
It was fun.
Yes, it was. And a learning experience too.
Yes, and we will do it again. And we bring Nick in and some other people, and we're going to talk some crap.
That sounds good.
Yes, we are going to do that. So, thanks everyone. And thank you, Samantha, for
Yeah.
joining me instead of Shane. And for those who didn't see my spam, tomorrow evening we are on Facebook. And we hope to get in Rick McCullum if his computer isn't acting up. So,
I told you, the computer world is trying to get us, I
yes,
swear.
yes, yes, they hate us, they hate us. So,
Yep.
jump in things in the
Rick
Netherlands.
is a really good friend of mine, so
Yeah,
yeah,
he is so much fun. And
yes, yes.
yeah, we go, he just sent him a message, just a small reminder, next Saturday we on. Can you call me? And I said there, like, what? Yeah, so it's going to be fun tomorrow.
He does do that with a few people. It might make it easier on him.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I've had many phone conversations with him.
we're looking forward to it. So thanks again. I will stay awake and watch you and your Griffin tonight.
Have fun.
Good luck with that.
I'm going to try. I'm going to, I just drink coffee, so I
Us is
wouldn't.
gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I'll be lucky if I stay awake.
So, see you all next time. Jeremy, thank you. We talk later. Bye bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. We hope you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe.